that back here. Hey, what's up guys? I wanted to do a quick update video on what has been going on with my hair. Now this isn't a complete update, but I'm just gonna explain a little bit about some of the Congos that I've been experiencing and how thick they actually are. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna actually look and see how long I've been allowing this locking process to take place. But yeah, it's been a pretty cool journey so far. So it's literally only been a little over 2 months since I've started, and I'm just gonna show you guys really quickly what's been going on. So yeah, a lot has been going on and changing. One thing that I noticed, and one thing that DREADLOCks actually pointed out in his video, he actually did a review on me. You guys can check that out. It's on Not Nation's channel. By first glance, by looking at my hair, it doesn't look like it's locking, or it doesn't look like there's any locks or Congos or whatever. But when I start lifting things up, you can see literally everything. So you guys can see this right here. This is a big dreadlock. Now, I guess you could say this video is over thick dreadlocks. And because I really only have one Congo, or I don't have that many Congos. This Congo back here, it's gonna be a Congo. This is blunted off, and then this is blunted off. But it just takes time for all this length to mature. This one's gonna be a little bit flat when it comes to locking. These ones in the front are gonna be interesting. I'm sure a lot of this in the front is gonna be Congos. And it's just really defined curls right now. And I'm sure over time it'll just lock up, because this one right here, this one's locking up. And you can just tell the maturity if you guys can get right up on it. You can see the maturity of these. Let's see, this one's really mature. And you'll notice that there's clumping, and it's when the curls back up into the lock. You guys can see how all these curls are bundling up and backing up, and that's how it looks. And this is like the frizz up close. You can see all the frizz, and not a huge fan of all the frizz. Be cool if it was like kind of maintained and not as frizzy, but it is pretty frizzy. This is my thickest dreadlock. I'm trying to separate, like there's this hair right here, this baby hair right here. I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't get pulled into this, but it most likely will because it's so small. And this is like a, I don't know what you would call it, like a black hole pretty much. It's gonna suck anything into it that's close to it, that's smaller than it. And yeah, look how just thick this is. This one's really big. Takes up a lot of space on my scalp, but it's really cool. See how thick that is? But this one's actually getting hard, maturing. They start to mature about right where my hands are, or right where my hand is. This is where they start to mature, about right at this length. And then it'll mature up, it'll blunt off the tip, and then it'll start maturing down to the root. That's kind of the process that I've experienced so far. It'll start where I showed you, and then it'll go up, and then it'll go down. And what I mean by that is it'll start to get hard at, this length right here, right where my fingers are at. It'll start to get hard and it'll lock up right there. And then the tips will blunt off, and then everything else will come with it. Sometimes the tips will actually blunt off a little sooner than the rest of the hair. Like this one, this tip is blunted off. And you guys can see that it's just perfectly blunted. And the rest of the lock is super immature, but it has its own section. And the biggest thing is just, I'm just glad that there's actually a bunch of sections going on. And you guys can see what's going on up there. It's really cool. I can definitely say that once these are matured up, they're gonna be some really cool looking dreads. Freeform locks, whatever you wanna call them. But I'm really stoked and excited to see how these turn out. I'm gonna try to give you guys really quick a back view of everything. I'm not sure how to film this, but you can see that back view, side view. Once I turn to the side, you guys can see the separation a little bit better and see where these locks are forming. And it is really cool. The Congos and the thickness is really awesome. I am a fan of that. I'm a super fan of thick dreadlocks. So it's cool to actually have them. And these are all different sizes. There's this really thick one, and you know, it even gets down to, you know, skinnier ones. This is a Congo. There's 2 in 1 right here. Yeah, but this is the skinniest Congo I have, I think. Now, since my last update, I've noticed one thing, and a big difference that has actually a benefit compared to how it was before, is my hair isn't falling in front of my face as much as it was during the beginning stages. And I feel like now it's just maturing and kind of finding its place, I'll put it that way. And it will kind of stay wherever I throw it, which is actually pretty good, because I typically will just kind of throw it to the side or throw it straight back. And I haven't been wearing it in a ponytail for a really long time, so that's a good thing. I've been wearing it down literally every single day of the week, every morning, every night. Been sleeping without any, you know, hair ties or any coverings. And one thing that I will talk about in the update is actually a pointer that will help out a whole bunch of people, but I'm gonna talk about it in my 3-month update. Actually, I'll go ahead and tell you guys now, since I have the idea and I've already told you. One thing that I'll do when I sleep is, if I sleep on the side of my head, I always push my hair up and then I'll lay my hair down. That prevents my hair from getting flat, because even though I am freeforming, I'm trying to make sure that they're cylindrical and not all of them are flat. Even though I don't have anything against flat dreadlocks, because this one back here is going to be flat for sure. And some of the back are probably going to be flatter than the rest. Anytime I lay down, say if I lay down to the back, I'll pull my hair up in the back like this, and then I'll lay my hair down, because I don't want the weight of my head to flatten out my dreadlocks. And that's just me my personal preference, because I don't want my hair to turn out flat or get into a shape that I don't like it. And that's just a big thing for me. So that's a pointer for you guys. If you don't want flat dreadlocks, especially if you're maintaining them, say you've twisted your dreadlocks to start them out and you don't want them to become flat, then the best thing to do is to always push your hair up and then lay down, versus laying straight onto your dreadlocks, because then that will create your hair to mat up. And let's face it, like when I sleep, I'll move around and I'll probably end up sleeping on my hair every now and then, but it's not as much as if I were to be just laying on it like straight up right when I go to bed, or if I'm just hanging out watching TV or watching a movie and I just lay on the back of my head or something like that. And it will just create flatter dreadlocks if I consistently do that. I don't put it into a hair tie or anything. I just literally lift up the side and then I'll lay down my head, and then that prevents your hair from getting flat or matting up in a way that you don't want it to. It is kind of contradicting the way I'm locking up my hair, because I am freeforming, but I want to not maintain it, but kind of direct it in from a distance kind of thing, to where I'm not necessarily, you know, maintaining it completely, like doing any twisting or anything like that. But if I'm laying down, I'm going to make sure that I'm laying down the way that is going to make my dreadlocks look the best as possible. But I would still consider my hair 100% freeform. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a quick 360 really quick, so you guys can see what's really going on, because I do have these really thick dreadlocks right here, and it's really cool to see them. And there's some thick ones on the back too, like there's this one back here, and they're gonna even get thicker over time. That's the cool thing about it. So you guys will be able to see with this kind of 360 what's going on. So I want to point out something to you guys right now that I'm kind of looking at and thinking what's going to happen. Is you guys can see right here on the top of my head that there's a bunch of separation, and it's separated all the way down to the scalp. And this is something that will eventually go away once I allow my hair to keep growing in. And if this doesn't fill in, like say with new growth, then I'm most likely eventually, if this doesn't get to where I want it to, I'm going to tie some dreadlocks together right here, and then allow those to all lock together so it's a clump right here in the middle of my head. Because one thing I don't want to happen is I don't want my hair to be like flat on top. I want there to be some sort of definition up there, because I think that would personally look a little bit better, in my opinion, because I like when there's kind of definition everywhere, not to where all my dreads are just hanging down, that some of them are probably standing up or something like that. And since my hair is longer, they may not stand up as much or stand up the way that I would like them to, but possibly could get it there, or just have more thickness at the top, I guess is what I'm looking for. But overall, I'm stoked. I want to hear your guys' opinions down below about what you guys think, because I'm pretty stoked on it. One thing that I do always run into is, you guys can see this hair right here, is all the hair that falls out of my, off the scalp, it will just hang out at the tips of my hair sometimes, or at the tips of my dreads. And it will literally just hang out until it either falls out or finds a way into the dreadlock. But overall, it's really cool. I have this really skinny kind of like curl that just will literally hang. It's super long. Look how long it is. But yeah, it's really cool. But this is my thickest one right here, and I'm super stoked on it. You guys can see how thick it is right here. Super stoked on the thick ones. These are what I like to call dog ears. I feel like ones on the side of your head and the ones on the back of your head will be just always super thick. I'm excited to see how all this turns out. But I did just want to give you guys kind of a raw little update video on what's been going on, especially with the Congos. Today I actually did my first ever, cold wash, which I washed with cold water. If anybody's wondering, because I know DREADLOCKS mentioned a little bit in the video, he did a review on my hair. He explained that doing cold washes or using cold water, and I've always kind of explained that in older videos of mine, saying to always use cold water if you're washing your hair. And for me, with Freeform locks, since I kind of patiently wait for them to lock up and I'm not maintaining them, I don't really care for, doing cold washes, which today I did one just to see what it would look like and see what the difference would be, see if it kind of maintains frizz a little bit better or, tightens them up quicker or anything like that. I haven't noticed a huge difference. I noticed that my hair just constantly progresses in maturing day by day, literally, and I've noticed changes every single day. There's more separation every single day. I'm not sure if the cold wash did it for me, or if that made a difference, because I've just been washing my hair with like really hot water and just my regular shampoo, and that's what I've been doing lately. I haven't been doing any cold washes besides today, and like I said, after today I don't really notice a huge difference, so I think I'm just going to stick with doing hot water washes or warm water washes, whichever you want to call it, and I haven't really noticed a big difference, so I'm just going to stick with just washing my hair with warm water. And I would understand if you're, maintaining your hair, if you're doing twisting with gel or any other method that you'd wanted to use cold water. But since I'm not maintaining my hair, I'm just using hot water. But I can see the difference between cold and hot, because hot will loosen up your curl pattern and cold water will tighten up your curl pattern. Regardless, water will kind of elongate your curls, but it will, I would say, retract your curls quicker than if you were to have warm water in your hair, because warm water is essentially a relaxer to your curl pattern. And that's when, if your curls elongate or relax, then your hair won't lock up as quick. So you can see it as, if you use cold water and they retract quicker, your curls retract quicker or get tighter, then you'd want to use cold water, which, like I said, I didn't notice a huge difference. Either way, regardless if I'm washing my hair, the curls are going to get tighter, because when you wash your hair, it does tighten up your curl pattern. Now, I'm not saying it gives you like a different curl pattern, but it will put your curls where they're supposed to be. But you guys, thank you for tuning into this video. I love you guys so much, and I'm super stoked on this whole journey, and I'm glad you guys enjoy it with me. Make sure to leave a comment down below what you guys think of my hair, because I would love to hear you guys' comments and, any critiques or whatever you guys say, or any tips that I can actually do myself, because this is my first time ever freeforming. It's just completely different, and it's a really cool experience. I'll say the biggest thing that I've got out of what you guys have told me is to not pull my hair up, and that's something that I knew beforehand, but I actually started practicing it, and not pulling my hair up has made a huge difference in the locking process and has allowed my hair to lock up even quicker. So that's a big thing for me. But you guys, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully you guys do have an amazing day. Matter of fact, have a great day. Peace out and God bless.